We have the Canon 18-200 on the right and the Tamron 18-400 on the left. So just to make sure I got these right. Okay, this is at 18 millimeters, so wide angle for both of those, wide as they go. And I guess overall, if I were looking at the both, I'd say about the same. Yeah, if you were putting them on the internet and you didn't have to do anything else, then I'd say there's not much difference. Maybe a little more blue in the left in the sky, I guess. But, I mean, they weren't taken exactly at the same time, so there's tiny little things that can affect that. But we're going to pixel peep and go all the way to 1:1, 100%. And luckily, they're pretty close. And things are already going crazy. Let me make sure I got my white one. Nope. Things moved. I don't know why, but things moved. Okay. Let's go to 1:1. There we go. So now we can start seeing the differences. I'm going to go in the upper right because that's where I started noticing stuff like right away. They're not exactly the same, but we've got the chimney. Chimney is definitely, I mean, now granted, we were focused kind of on the middle, but this is at 18 millimeters, so, and plus the left could do it, so why not the right? Things just move. It's so frustrating, and I'm not even touching anything, but we'll get it back. Okay, once again, I can start over, but no time. Okay, I don't know what does it, but let's hopefully it doesn't move. All right, so the tree as well, the leaves on the foliage, tree, and the roof, another chimney. Now, I mean the fence, they really can see the difference. And the Tamron's not brand new, but it came out not too long ago. And the Canon, I don't know if that's like 10 years old or something. Canon's been around a long time. That particular lens, 18-200, I'd have to look it up, but I'm not sure. But yeah, the tree is just a little blurry, not quite as sharp. Things in the tree, a little fringing on. Yeah, they're on both. I think I see a little more on the Tamron actually, but. And again, the roof, the shingles, wow, I'm going to start to see some big differences there. The colors in the background, yeah, a lot more sharpness, a little vivid. And how about that tree with all of the blossoms here? I mean, again, it's not perfect on either camera because they have their limitations, but I'd rather have the left. Got grass. Yeah, it's just gets a little dull in the back. As we start to get closer, it matters a little bit left. I lost my thing again. I don't know what it does, but at least I know how to get it back quickly. Okay, now we got the SpongeBob exhibit. There, I really can't tell much difference there, I don't think. I mean, they're both pretty close. At this point, it's pretty close. So the other one, the bucket, got the title of the bucket, and make sure 18-400, 18-200, okay, still working with the right thing, okay, and that's the end. So, yeah, I guess, let's go back to 101. I guess the bottom line is if you were to, I mean, they're both about the same size, not much difference in weight. One's 18-400 and one's 18-200. So with the Tamron, you get an extra, 200 millimeters and a little bit better at the distances. The Canon, and again, I only compared these two because that's really the key choices. Do I keep the Canon 18-200? I pretty much already decided after seeing some of the earlier photos, but I really wanted to see just how much I'd be giving up or how much I'd be getting by going just with the Tamron. And I think, overall, if I had to choose and if I pick one, then I would certainly say get the Tamron 18-400. It looks pretty good. And you get that little bit of extra zoom. We can probably, I don't know if I can do that because I can't control them individually, but maybe I can. Yeah, I don't think I can. If I were to go in any closer, that's not really fair at this point, but yeah. Okay. That is the comparison of two photos by different lenses. Now comparing zoomed in. the Tamron 18-400 and the Canon 18-200. I'll tell you now, Tamron's on the left. But now, not zoomed in. I had to crop the left a little bit because it was just a little too far off, and they're still not terribly close. They're pretty close. All the stuff in the background got the bokeh effect, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how blurry, how good the blurriness is. It's blurriness. But let's go to 1:1. Yeah, you do get a little tiny bit better, but not much. I mean, if you're thinking of upgrading just for the sake of the photos, then you probably might not want to do that, at least not to this lens, because you're probably getting very close. So, I mean, it is a little better, a little deeper in colors, but the sharpness is about the same. Again, you could get twice as close, of course, with the other lens. I just didn't in this case. I stopped at 200 to give them both a chance to get the same. But overall, yeah, when zoomed in, I don't know if there's any real huge striking difference that I can see, at least. A little more detail, just, I don't know. They're both pretty equivalent. Yeah, so I can see some of the texture there, maybe a little less there, a little more on this side. But that's the zoomed in of both cameras, or both lenses, same camera. It's an interesting one, an orchid indoors, got some lighting going on, but and a kind of a difficult background. It was a little lighter than I expected to be, even with the blinds closed. At first glance, I think 1:1, yeah, I don't know if I'd actually say one is significantly better than the other. They're so darn close in this case. Some tiny differences, but not much. Let's get a little closer. Alright, now, again, I have to kind of check to make sure. I think the right's got some sharp. Then, at this point, the focus could be elsewhere, but yeah, I think the right has it beat, at least in this part of the photo. I lost. Let me just make sure I'm still in the right photos. I'm not. And I am now about to 101. So, the right has it beaten. Although, it's funny. Okay, it is the focal point because that's not in focus, but that part is. Okay. That explains that. Down here. So I've just really got, I mean, it's not much, but the fact that it focused right here meant it really kind of ruined the shot for the other areas. I did not even notice that before, but yeah. So the right side's going to win only because this focused in the wrong place. If this had been the subject, like, wow, the stem, if that is the stem, actually the stick holding up the stem, that wins. Okay, up here. Yeah, really kind of not really good comparison because it just didn't focus in the right place. So the whole thing really on the left is out of focus. I didn't take enough shots to have a big enough sample set, so I can't go back and do it again. But yeah, you'll notice that when it gets into this area, I got this focused, but it didn't know. It didn't know. That would have been nice. So hard to tell, but I mean, let's say the focusing was okay, or this is in the right place. I would say I zoomed out again. Did not. Now I'm on the wrong one. Where's the right one? You know what? It's just too hard to control this application. It's actually, I don't think they even make it anymore, Picasso. But as you can see, yeah, they're pretty close. So again, if you're traveling and you want 18-400, you might as, if you want the range, you might as well take the zoom lens because you're not really giving up anything. But it would have been nice if I'd focused in the right place on both. It's a poor test because, alas, and maybe it's a sign of the focusing, but the left did not really, I don't even know where it really focused, but it is significantly sharper on the right side, and that is the Canon 18-200, and that's the 18-400. So even at 1:1, I mean, it's pointless because without being focused, it's just there's no shot. But you can kind of see. Yeah. Oh, alright, so this is no good for comparing. Finally, we have a few items in a very difficult area, kind of composition because of that bright light coming through the windows. I think the Tamron does a little bit better job, but neither one. You can't really get anything out of something like that. It's just going to blow it out. But that's fine because you can kind of see how it goes. And of course the darks are too dark and the lights are too light. I will try and go to that area if I can, not screwing anything up, and just kind of see out of curiosity. Yeah, I mean they're both, it's just garbage area. Nothing you can do with that. A little bit of noise on each one. So there's not a lot of useful stuff. Although they both captured a little bit of detail in the table. Security logons. Didn't realize I'm still connected. Okay, now we get to, alright. I would say the candy is a little sharper on the right. Yeah, and I would say the can's about a little sharper on the right. The Doctor Who body is probably about the same. And it's funny because the background, it looks to be a little sharper and the left and not on the right. And the Doctor Who head is kind of the same, but the Canon does pretty good. Just in different situations, I guess. It's been interesting. I think it's part of it is about focusing. So I don't know exactly where we're focused. We are at 20 millimeters and 18, so we weren't quite at the same range. All right. So you kind of get an idea. Back to 101. Well, if you're this far out, then I guess it doesn't matter too much. Either one would be just fine. The right one has a little bit more, it seems a little bit more natural colors than the Tamron. Tamron seems to kind of mess with the colors a little bit. But you probably can't go wrong with either one.